This is great. So today we're out here. We're going to talk a little bit about different IMAC classes and how somebody gets into IMAC, and then what they can expect once they're there.
Yeah, so IMAC's got 5 basic classes. Well, 5 classes. First one is basic. So you've got basic is your entry level. Anyone can fly it. Really, you can fly any plane. There's no restriction on. It has to be a scale plane. I've seen people do it with Cubs. I've seen trainers. I've seen glow planes. I've seen a little bit of everything. So a lot of people think, oh, I can't get into IMAC. I don't have a expensive giant scale airplane. Yeah, which you don't necessarily have to have. And a lot of people think to go up in the class you have to have a 150cc or 200cc powered plane. That's just not true. I've seen several people be competitive with 100cc planes. So basic's your first step. You get involved that way. You bring out any plane you have that can do a loop and a roll. And
I was going to say it just has to do the basic maneuvers.
Basic maneuvers, and there's nothing really tricky, no snap rolls or anything in basic. So you can get out and you can learn. And the nice thing about IMAC as a hobby is the people are really helpful. So I guarantee if you show up, you'll have someone offering to help call for you and give you tips on what they're seeing in your flying and stuff like that. So it's really pretty easy. From basic, you go to sportsman, then you go to intermediate to advanced, and then advanced to unlimited. Every class jump as you go up gets a little bit bigger. The jump from basic to sportsman's, it's a change, it's a challenge, but then sportsman to intermediate gets a little more. And each time you move, they add more complex figures to the maneuvers. It's always the same basic maneuvers: loops, rolls, hammerhead stalls, humpty bumps, stuff like that. Just more segments to it, more rolls, more snap rolls, stuff like that.
Now, when does somebody know when they should move up? I mean, is there a certain criteria that you move up, or a certain time limit? Like, can you only be in basic so long and then you got to move up? Or
no, there's really no hard and fast rule. Generally, if you are the regional champion in your class, people expect you to move up, or you're going to get razzed a bit the next year. If you win the shootout, like I won the shootout in advance this year, so next year I got to fly unlimited. I don't technically have to move up. I could fly advanced throughout the region, but I can't fly the shootout again in advance now that I've won it. So it'd be kind of counterproductive to not move up. My thing is, I always advise people that are entering into basic and learning to fly. I always recommend they stay in that class for at least a season. Just because some people go fly a contest or two and they'll get in the top 5 and they're like, okay, I'm ready to move to sportsman, because they want the more challenging sequences, and I understand that, but you're building the foundation for everything. So a lot of people will skip way ahead and then they'll kind of struggle for a few years trying to get their feet under themselves again because they're a little over their head. Yeah. So I usually recommend, if you're going out and you're winning every contest hands down, there's 14, 15 people and you're winning without a problem, it may be time to look at moving up. But if you're still in the mix and not on top of the podium, I usually recommend you stick with it for a season.
Yep. So if somebody comes out the first time, and let's say they're kind of nervous being in front of everybody, especially on landings. Landings always make people nervous. Are you judged on landings?
You are not judged on landings. It's not like pattern. Pattern, you're judged on takeoff and landing. In IMAC, you're not. If you're not comfortable landing, if the event's at a field you're not comfortable with, you can have someone come up and land for you. Sometimes we'll get in some really windy conditions, like the weather will turn on us and we'll still fly. Mm-hmm. And we always recommend, find a more advanced pilot, someone you trust with your plane, and let them land it. Don't feel you have to. So,
you have to.
Yeah, take off. You should probably be able to take off your plane, but if you're nervous because there's people there, have someone else do it.
No, that's always a good thing, because I know a lot of people were. I did when I first did it. Getting in there, and you might hit the runway a little bit harder.
Yeah, maybe dig a little bit of a hole.
Divot, but I replaced it.
You went out and kicked it down. Yeah. Hit the mix from the golf course. Yeah.
Pulled out my golf cart.
Hey, now I know what to get you for your birthday.
There you go. Golf cart would be nice.
Call you Divot.
Whoa.
Hey.
Man,
we already have one of those.
I thought I was the gardener.
No, you are the gardener.
That's on quads,
right.
though.
That's true.
It's quads. Yeah. All right, so none of you know what that is, but we'll explain someday at some time if you keep tuning in.
That's right.
Exactly what all that means.
Definitely.
But that's a little bit about classes, how to get into IMAC, and hopefully you can come out there. Maybe maybe next year I will. You got a plane I can use?
Sure.
Oh, next year I'll be flying IMAC. So you can follow me along and see how bad I screw up, and then know that it would be easy for you. Because if I screw up, you can't imagine who would give me any crap about that.
I would never give you crap. No.
All the people that are watching this.
Can we wrap this up? I got to call the retirement home. Get your birthday gift.
Wow. Wow. All right. So hopefully I'll do that before I retire. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
The
Bye.
end. Bye-bye.
That's pretty good, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Nice,
I think
nice
we got
job,
some
man.
good footage. Oh,
I think so, too.
hold on a second. You still watching?
What the hell, dude? Why are you not clicking the subscribe button? You stuck around this long.
Yeah, give us a like on this video while you're here.
At least, yeah. And get your friends. Tell them to like it.
Some people.
You gotta talk with all of them, you know. But we still like them.
We still like them.
All right.